Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is my good friend, Chris Vermeulen. He is the founder and chief investment officer at the Technical Trader and is well known for asset reversing signals. Welcome back, Chris.
Hey, Ivan, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you down to Wall Street Silver. I wanted to get you on to talk about all the craziness that's happening, not only in the precious metals market, crypto, and everything in general.
Mhm.
But let's start off, I guess, with how do you think Trump's election or Trump's presidency is going to affect the markets and the precious metals markets, or will it even affect it?
Yeah, I think it's going to affect everything. I think investors are seeing it as a bullish thing right now. I think he's creating a lot more movement back into the equities market. We're seeing money flowing into all the speculative plays like uranium, lithium, ARK ETFs, like small and micro cap and growth stocks. So money's definitely willing to go out there, and they're expecting good things. So it's pushing the equities markets higher. Now, seasonality wise, this is a great time for equities to go higher into the end of the year, the
Right.
Christmas, Santa Claus rally, whatever you want to call it. Um, so I think we're going to see the markets push higher going into the end of the year. I think a little pause and pullback along the way will be normal, but I think equities are going to go higher. I think gold, as money's flowing out of gold, and I think into equities a little bit. It's also flowing out of gold. I think it's going into Bitcoin as well. Gold has hit a pretty major resistance area, and I think most of gold's upside is done for a little bit. And but I'm bullish on equities still.
Do you think 2,700 was the high that was the top for gold right now, and then now it's just testing that top? What do you think?
Yeah, so like the chart pattern, if you go back, it's about a 15-year chart pattern that goes back to the 2001 low in gold and you drop forward to the 2011 highs and
Right.
things like that. This chart pattern of 2750 in that range, 2700, 2800 is where the long-term charts have been pointing to for years. I talked about this in 2019 when gold started the next major run up. And so this is a level, gold might push a little bit higher. We're in this cycle phase where typically, if we're getting close to a recession, I think equities right now are just taking the focus of investment capital right now. But I do believe gold will probably rally back and potentially poke to some nominal new highs. I think silver will
Yeah.
recover. I don't think they're going a whole lot higher, the precious metal space, but I do think they're going to come back and become a defensive play and hold value while the stock market starts to probably stall out come January.
Right.
And so gold's not over, but there's not a whole lot of like crazy upside left.
Now, what about, you absolutely nailed it there, but what about the yield curve? So many people are talking about, this past 2, 3 days, the yield curve is just out of whack. And, what do you see there and what are the concerns there, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really follow the yield curve too much. It doesn't play into my analysis, but obviously everybody's got like bent minds of what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of emotions. A lot of people are making things bend out of the norm. So
Right.
there's a lot of uncertainty. That's why gold has been doing so well. That's why I think crypto is also doing well. People are nervous about currencies and interest rates and the bubble in stocks and the bubble in real estate. So people are trying to get outside of all the governed stuff. They're trying to get physical gold and they're trying to get into like crypto, things like that, because they're nervous, right? And I think when you see yield curves and everything starting to
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use. So instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
go to extreme levels, it just goes to show things are out of whack and you got to expect volatility. All assets are probably going to get very volatile. They're going to pop and drop, and it becomes a much more difficult time to trade.
Hmm. What are you keeping your eye on then right now? Like what is concerning you if it's because you're not looking at the yield curve, it doesn't play into your analysis, but what is concerning you right now?
Um, I wouldn't really, I wouldn't say anything's really concerning me. I mean, we're long the equities markets.
Right.
I think that to me, the actual concerning part was gold has hit that long-term move and it happened to be right at the election. And so I feel like it's a very critical point that in the next couple of months, we're going to see a big turning point. The dollar and and gold have been rallying very strong together for the last couple of months.
Right.
That to me is a big red flag. That is a big warning sign. Typically, when there's a economic reset, we see the US dollar rocket higher. And so the fact that it has been going higher, and I think it's going to go a whole lot higher, is a very important thing to watch. A lot of people are always talking about the collapse of the dollar, but I think it's going to have a huge rally and push higher over the next, in 2025, over the next many months. And also we're seeing money really start to move into Bitcoin. We saw a big breakout, a big move there. So that's also starting to get some capital because I think money's coming out of gold and going into crypto right now.
Yeah. Do you think it would be smart or wise, I guess, to get into the crypto market? Are you currently in the crypto market right now? Is that what you guys are following? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I mean, we got into crypto last week and into Bitcoin. We just got into Bitcoin. Either you buy Bitcoin futures or an ETF. We actually pulled some profits off already. We got about a 14% pop in really just a couple of days.
That's
And
pretty crazy. That's
yeah,
crazy.
so for the first time ever, like I bought Bitcoin like 10 years ago. I haven't touched it since because I'm not a big crypto person. But when you look at the monthly chart of Bitcoin, it is the sexiest looking chart I've seen. And so my followers know I'm not big into crypto at all. But the chart is so nice. There's so much potential. I'm like, I have to put some money into this. It is ready to pop, and it's going to be like an imminent return. We over the next 2 to 3 months, potentially even 1 month, we could see Bitcoin hit like 112. I'm
Really?
expecting it. I wanted last week. I talked about it should hit 90, then pause for a few days or potentially a couple of weeks, and then it should go right up to about 112,000 per Bitcoin. So that's why we got into it. And I'm looking at it as just a trade. It's a small speculative play, but it's one of the best looking charts. I really like it. It's an explosive move, very volatile, but from a technical trading standpoint, I'm like the risk return is there, and it's a very powerful move. The way it moves is just a great way to quickly pull some money out of the market.
Do you think like China has a big role to play when this week they came out and said, the US and Donald Trump is going to be moving into cryptos instead of the US dollar? What do you think that has an effect on the markets?
I think that's got a huge effect for crypto. I mean, I think Trump talking about they want to create a Bitcoin reserve or something like that.
Do you think that's possible? Do you think the Fed will let him do that?
I don't know. I guess if you're president, you can probably make whatever rule you want.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So it's definitely bullish for Bitcoin. Like I think Trump getting in is very bullish, and that's why we're
Right.
seeing this move up. So who knows where the top will be in Bitcoin? People, I've heard all kinds of crazy high pricing, but it could
Yeah.
happen. I mean, there's a fixed amount of shares, and a lot of people who want that. There's not that many Bitcoins out there, right? And there's so many people around the world that are getting into it. Like the fact that I'm getting into it is crazy because I'm like anti crypto.
Yeah, yeah. There's been so
So
many people I've interviewed this week where they specifically say they're not Bitcoin people, they're not crypto people. But I mean, it's hard to ignore when you have like so much money going into the crypto space right now that
yeah,
you just can't lose.
and
Yeah,
yeah, and the chart though, like it's hard not to want to take this because based on my analysis about stuff last week, there's about a 48% upside potential in Bitcoin
right.
that could happen in like a 1 to 3 month window, and that's a pretty good return. And the momentum's behind it, just as you said, the money flow. So it's like you'd be an idiot really not to take it.
Yeah. I'm doing the mining ones, like Mara. What do you think is about the crypto mining ones behind it?
I have no idea. I don't even
Yeah.
know what that is. Like I'm not in.
That's
All
how
I know
much
is
you're
the
not a crypto guy.
Yeah, all I know is the blockchain ETF block has been doing really well. That's
Right.
as close to like crypto and blockchain that I get, right? So I
That's
don't even
good.
know if a blockchain has anything to do with whatever you said,
Right.
but
Right. Now, where can people connect with you, Chris? Like, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver, of course. But where can people connect with you? And I'll put the links in the description below.
yeah, they can go right here on YouTube. Go type in the technical traders, type in Chris Vermeulen, or go to thetechnicaltraders.com, and I share on my blog videos just like what you and I are doing. I'll share my charts,
Hmm.
and people can follow me and copy the trades that I do. every trade that I put on with my portfolio, I share with members. So you're doing trades that are meant for, to make money and protect our capital. So that's what I focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Well, Chris, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver. Everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us. Please hit the subscribe button. And then, yeah, Chris, such a huge pleasure. Where before I actually let you go, your asset revesting, is that on Amazon?
That is, yep.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone watching, I highly recommend to get Chris's book. I'll put that in the link description in the description below, and that one's on Amazon as well.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you
take
so
care.
much, Chris. Take care.
Yep. Bye-bye.